Over Merrimack, a game you guys never trailed in. What did you like about the way your guys played?
Found a way to win. I think Merrimack's a good outfit. They're a really good team. They got good team speed. I think all three phases had good moments. There's some moments that we got to clean up. I didn't like the block punt. We had a lack of communication there between our up back and our long snappers. So we got to be better there. Didn't like the interception that we threw, but I thought, overall we made some plays. We got the run game going and the throw game going, which was good to score 35 points, which is solid. Defensively, we created some negative plays. Could have created a couple more, but created a lot of havoc plays, which is good to see. I thought our back end played physical and tough. And then special teams, I thought we covered kicks well. Field position was critical, which was good. But we got some things to clean up. And we know that, so we'll improve this week.
72-yard drive that you were able to put together right before the half that made it a 20-7 game going into the locker room. How much momentum did that provide you?
Well, it's good. You got to win in those situations. 2 minutes, a critical situation. And we found ways to generate some first downs. Chris had a key scramble on that drive to keep the drive alive. Then we made some throws and ran a couple plays there, and they got the ball in the end zone there about 35 seconds on the clock. So that was good execution. We got to win 2 minutes. You got to win situational work. Obviously, like every team, you work it, and it's actually good to actually see it work in the game. So I was proud of that. And then defensively, we got to stop there in the second half to kind of create that middle eight that we talk about. So that was good to see, and we got to continue to do those things in these tight games.
Offensively, 438 yards, and you kind of touched in and you opened 251 rushing, almost 200 passing. Is that the kind of balance you're looking for? And then just Chris's ability to rare when you see a quarterback at 167 passing and 117 rushing. Just talk about just your offense in general. How are you able to get both phases working?
Well, balance is good, but you want to score points. You want to score points, and whether it's by through the air or through running the football, where it takes to move the football, we want to do that. You can't be one dimensional. You got to be able to throw the ball. You got to throw the ball to score points. You got to run the ball to win games. And it was good to see, Roland get going there a little bit. Obviously, Chris helped us a little bit in the run game, obviously, which is critical. And then we took some shots in the vertical throw game, got some PIs, thank God, but also hit some plays down the field. So that was good to see. It was good balance. Merrimack challenges you. They play bump and run. They play man. They load you in the box, so they force you to do certain things. And it was good to see our guys respond, but we can still score more. I still think there's more out there, whether it's execution in the red zone, whether it's, third downs, fourth downs, etc. We can keep drives alive. So we got to get a lot better to get in the league play here versus Albany.
Question for you from Mark Singles. Go ahead, Mark.
Billy, Mark Singles from the Albany Times Union. How are you?
Good to see you.
Same here.
Yes,
we know Marquise Deets pretty well up here for the last couple of years. What's he given you so far this season?
Well, Deets has been a great player. Even at Albany, he was a great player. Tough, physical, good after the catch, good blocker. He's been a great help for us, been a great teammate for us. But he did a great job at Albany. We're glad he's on our team. Good player. He's got to continue to get better, though. He's got a lot of things that he wants more of, whether it's catches, whether it's blocking opportunities, run after catch. He's a hungry kid, so we got to keep getting better there at that position.
When he entered the portal, were you on him right away, or was it more of a gradual process with him?
Gradual. Honestly, it was late. It was very late in the process. I think he went in the springtime, I believe, and it was a little bit later. We had some things happen at receiver on our own roster that we needed a guy, so that kind of came to fruition there.
With the Golden Apple Trophy at stake, is it kind of interesting to have a former Albany guy playing on your side in this thing?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But again, it's, both teams are respectable. Both teams, I respect Albany. I think I have a lot of respect for Coach Ambrose. I got a lot of respect for his staff. But again, once that ball snapped, you put the ball down, all that emotion goes, you got to go execute and play. You got to take it one play at a time. But, a lot of respect for this team. Got a lot of respect for their coaches and their players. So we got to have a great week of preparation.
Thanks very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Billy, defensively, switch over to that side of the ball. You held Merrimack to just 233 yards in that game, and only the 10 points. What did you like about the way those guys performed?
I thought our defensive line played pretty well. They got in the backfield, created havoc plays. Sebastian Regis was all over the field. Franco Milano made plays. in the backfield as well. Rodney Falk played better, which is good to see. And then A.J. Roberts played a little bit of linebacker and some stand-up and did a nice job creating some havoc plays. So that was huge. I thought our secondary competed. They got some guys on the edge that can run, and we stuck with them. And there's a couple plays where, balls down the field and, one of our corners bust the ball out late and finish the play. Those are the things you want to see, and tackle decently. You want to tackle a little bit better. In my opinion, we still tackled at a pretty good rate, but not the standard we want. But it was good to see that. And but really the only thing was just third and long. So we got to be a little better on third and long, getting off the field. Their quarterback can extend plays. He's a good player. So we got to get him on the ground. But I thought we played pretty well on defense. But we got to keep doing that. We got to be consistent. This week's going to be big. It's a really good offense.
You guys were able to get some pressure, 4 sacks in the game, and some TFLs beyond that. How big of a factor was that?
Huge. You get obviously get the offense off schedule. You get them off schedule, and then you kind of dictate it a little bit. And it's 1st and 10, and it's run or pass. Now you're in 2nd and long or 3rd and whatever, and that kind of dictates a little bit for the defensive side. So it's good to see that. We got to continue to do those things and challenge our defense to do those things consistently. I think that's going to be the message going in this week. But it was good to see that from our defense for sure.
Back in conference play, you talked with Mark a little bit about Albany. Obviously Jared has been there a while, now takes over as the head coach. When you look at their offense, but if you use a couple of different quarterbacks, what are some of the challenges that their offense presents for you?
Well, both quarterbacks can play. Both guys can win games. Both guys can move the team. Both those guys are tough players. So really impressed with those guys. I think their backs are physical. They got multiple backs that can run downhill, one-cut guys that can, create new line of scrimmages with their physicality. They got some receivers on the edge that can run and separate and create big plays. And then their tight ends are really good too. I think those are guys they don't get talked about enough. Both guys can play. Both guys can catch and block. So they got a really good outfit on offense. And I'm really impressed with their defense. I think their defense coordinator does a great job. I'm going to say that he does a really good job with his call patterns. But more importantly, his players play hard. Secondary is athletic and long, will hit you. They got some backers that will hit you. Their D-line does a nice job creating havoc. So I'm really impressed with their team. I'm impressed with their toughness. And they play some tight games. Delaware State game was crazy. That was an insane game, and they're right there with them. And that delay was nuts, So they're a good team. They're a really, really good team. A lot of respect for Coach Ambrose and his staff, but we got to have a good week of prep this week, and it starts tomorrow with our Tuesday practice.
How important for you guys to put together? You've had some really good performances at home, but to be able to take that and do that on the road.
Yeah, you got to be road warriors. You got to win on the road. We haven't done that yet, with the San Diego, and that was a long trip. And went to Lindenwood. That was long, but we gotta prepare the right way and continue to do those things right. But obviously you got to be better on the road. We got to clean that up as coaches and players. And but we have a good week of prep this week, where it starts.
A rare occurrence in college football, which is being able to play for a trophy. Not everybody gets to do that. And I know talking to the coaches over the years, this one playing for the Golden Apple was when it started. I don't think either coach knew what it was going to grow into, but then I have since seen it's kind of a big deal to the guys. This is year 2 for you, and what have you seen?
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm only year 2, but obviously it's a huge game. Both are great institutions. Both are good schools and have history in football. You know what I mean, and played football for a while. So it's really cool to have that. That pageantry and I think different sports. A lot of our sports play each other. We play Albany, so it's really neat. We're going up there. I've never played up there, so I'm excited to go up there. So it's going to be a great night or great day, a 3:30 kick. It's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to it. But again, it comes back to preparation and doing the little things right.
All right, Billy. Thanks as always for the time here this morning, and I look forward to talking again next week.
Thank you, Rob. Take care.
All right, take care. Again, for our media members on the line, if you have questions for the coaches this morning, just use the chat feature or the raise your hand icon.